Buenos dias. Me llamo Christopher Alexander Robert Clark-Youngblood. It is 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Coming to you live and direct from Carlsbad, California, suburb north of San Diego, south of Los Angeles. About to hop on the I-5 north to head back to LA. Today is my last day with Jojo and Emmy. We spent the last few days at their grandparents' house in Carlsbad. Yeah, it's the end of probably the most beautiful chapter of my life. Raising those two little girls was the most magical and impactful experience of my life. I hope they can carry with them good things for me and forget all of the bad things for me. Oh. I don't feel like a piece of you is dying, but I feel like my heart is breaking. But it does feel for the best, at least for now. And I know our story is not over. I will see them always on their birthdays. But I don't know if I will spend time with them on a daily basis ever again, and that's heartbreaking. The most significant relationship in my life. I love them very much, more than I could possibly explain. They're a piece of me, but they're very lucky little girls. They have lots of love in their life. It's very cool to be with them for the past few days at their grandparents' house, their mother's parents. They have two grandparents that love them very much here in LA, where they were born, and they're heading back to Portland now. They also have two grandparents that love them very much in Portland. Big families. Big family in Portland too that loves them very much. There's so many stable, loving adults in their life, and I'm but one of them. I think honestly the sadness perhaps reveals kind of emotional shortcomings of my own rather than some sort of something that they will be missing or something like that. Anyway, we chug forward. I have no plan right now for my own life. It's all been one step at a time since we found out in March, April, whenever it was, of 2025 that we're moving to Portland. It was going to be about a 6-month transition up there and then we coming back. So it's just been one step at a time, and I didn't want to take myself out of the present moment or my final months and weeks and days with them by scrambling to figure out my life or apply for a new job and having to come back down here on a timeline of some job or anything like that. So here we are, headed back to Burbank for a couple days, and then I feel very lucky that I'm gonna fly to Hawaii to have a nice vacation for a couple weeks, and then back to LA. My younger sister just moved to Ventura, which all feels very serendipitous and fitting as well that she's here. So, come back from Hawaii on January 22nd, we'll go from there. I apologize, I haven't been on the podcast the past couple weeks. I've been traveling around, not all over the place, but a good amount of traveling over the holidays. I think the last time I came to y'all was from Portland. I went to Chicago for my nephew's birthday on December 20th. Back to Portland for Christmas. The day after Christmas, the girls flew down to their grandparents in San Diego or LA. I spent the day after Christmas packing up all my belongings and drove down from Portland to LA on December 28th. Did it all in one day, which I did not expect. 14-hour trip. got to Burbank, and then headed to Joshua Tree with my girlfriend and met up with my sister, her boyfriend, and 2 of her friends from high school are also friends of mine. We spent years together in Joshua Tree. Then it was off to San Diego to spend the first couple days of the year with the girls at their grandparents, and now they just flew back to Portland to start the second semester of JoJo's first grade year. And I will fly up to visit them on JoJo's birthday, February 20th, in 6 weeks. Oh man. It's hard to kind of like view reality, or like even kind of view my identity, my purpose, or what I even want to do with the next step of my life, because the most important people in my life are not here. So I think it'll take a little time to separate my own identity from their identity. Because right now my instinct is, it's like my children, so my instinct is to just be with them and run to them and protect them, but they're not my children. They have their parents, and they have their grandparents. So I kind of gotta like deprogram a little bit, or spend some time to figure out who I am again and what I want to do with my life. Because at this point, nothing seems meaningful. Nothing seems purposeful or vibrant. Because like my kids are gone. What would I want to do, if you just want to be with your kids? But it's okay. I feel so grateful to have that love in my life. The 6 years I spent with those girls is the greatest experience of my life, and invaluable. I would not trade it for anything in the world. I would not trade my relationship with them for anything in the world. Apologize, I haven't been on the podcast. We'll get it consistent from here. I'm going to use all of this kind of emotion and uncertainty as fuel, because I really do these girls have elevated me to a higher level of consciousness and allowed me to see and see life from what I feel is kind of like an elevated perspective of consciousness, and taught me what is truly valuable in the world. And I feel like they've totally expanded my heart and allowed me to evolve as a human being in a way that would have not been possible without them. So I'll use all the love that they have filled me with to hopefully impact the world in a good place going forward. I'm sorry I don't have my mic, my normal podcast setup. I'm literally just going straight to the iPhone on the speaker here. My entire car is packed full of all of my belongings. It has been since December 28th, if you can see that. But yeah, I literally have no plan. Today's Monday, January 5th. I'm gonna fly to Hawaii on Wednesday, January 7th. Be there until January 22nd. And then back in LA, and I'll probably crash at my sister's place for a little bit and just figure out whatever my next step is professionally and personally and all that shit. Back up to Portland on February 20th for JoJo's birthday. The other loves of my life, my sister's kids. It is my middle niece's birthday and my mom's birthday. They share a birthday March 10th, and so then I'll go see them in Chicago as well. And so it really might not be like mid-March that I get things really kind of settled. I have money, but it's running out. I have a lot of investments that I've already sold a lot of the profit from all the investments I've made over the last 6 years. I've sold all of the profit, if that makes any sense. I'm not like an investing expert. Basically, over the last 6 years, I invested $100,000 and $50,000 in the stock market or ETFs and $50,000 in crypto. All of the profit that I've made from that $100,000 investment, I've scooped off, cut off the top. I've taken all the profit to support myself since I've been in Portland. Moving up to Portland, I took a significant pay cut to be with the girls. and I've had to fly down to LA monthly, which is like minimum $1,000 a trip. So I've been spending I've been spending way more money than I've been bringing in over the past 6 months. So those profits have run out, and I don't want to. I've done this in the past where I've sold like all my investments down to zero, and I don't want to do that again. I want to have some kind of little nest egg of investments to stay going forward. So maybe got a month or two left of cash, and we're just going to use that to feed myself until we find a new job. I feel good about that. I feel excited, nervous, but excited about the future. I do feel a little bit bewildered and like, who am I sort of feeling. Anyway, well, we got this shit. Coming forward for the podcast, Cosmos, episode 1, 1980. I'm not sure what episode of the podcast this is, but episode 101 will be kind of a new chapter of the podcast, where I'm going to start getting into like cosmology and study of the history of the universe and history of planet Earth. And that's going to kind of be the guiding force of the podcast going forward. Woo! Motherfucking Seahawks! Our Lord and Savior head coach Mike McDonald. It's all happening way faster than we could ever have anticipated. This motherfucker's got the #1 seed in the NFC. I love him so much, man. I have like, I'm telling you, I've been ranting about this for fucking 2 years now. I have utmost faith in this guy. I have more faith in this individual than any human being on the planet. To me, he's like a divine entity. He's gonna win a Super Bowl. He is gonna be the best coach in the NFL if he's not already. I've been saying it since day one. And it's happening way faster than even this most ardent supporter, could have anticipated. Go fucking Seahawks! Bulldogs! Took a big L in the quarterfinals against Ole Miss. College football playoffs have turned out way different than anyone thought. Ole Miss, Oregon, Indiana, and fucking Miami. Ole Miss, the representative of the SEC. Shout out Ole Miss. My older sister Katie went there, so I do have a very soft spot in my heart for Ole Miss. I would say they're my third favorite college football team. Georgia, Ohio State, Georgia, LSU, and Ole Miss. Ocean right there, bitch. Nothing to complain about. Beautiful fucking ocean, Pacific Ocean. San Diego's incredible. I want to move here. Yeah, that's that. Seahawks gonna win a fucking Super Bowl. I'm going to the Super. I've not been able to make it to a regular season game. I texted Coach Mike an apology. Hopefully he grants me forgiveness for not making my pilgrimage to Lumen Field this year. But I did make a pilgrimage to the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, or what's it called? The training facility for the Seahawks. In August, I was there for training camp. So I went to 2 games last season. Went to training camp this season, and I will be at the motherfucking Super Bowl if and when they make it. MMA's coming back January 22nd. We're in a bit of a hiatus right now for MMA. UFC's coming back, not on ESPN anymore, on Paramount Plus. I'm excited about that. It's going to be all-inclusive with a subscription to Paramount Plus. No need to buy individual pay-per-views. Now I'm really just rambling. We have souls, y'all. We have souls. Thank you, Jojo and Emmy, for granting me the greatest opportunity in my life to cultivate and build my soul. I hope I've helped to cultivate and build your souls as well. There's much more than going on in this reality than this material world that we witness. This three-dimensional reality of stuff. There's way more going on. We have a soul. There's way more going on out there in terms of like soul dimensions, spiritual dimensions, the infinity of the universe, the infinite nature of the universe, and not just like in a physical realm. I think there's like other dimensions out there beyond like other planets and galaxies, like things that layers of existence, of reality. That's much thicker and richer and filled with soul and spirit than we realize. I'm going to continue to explore. I will never stop exploring the nature of reality. I'll never stop exploring truth. I apologize if I get truth wrong, if I get shit wrong. I apologize if I speak in a forceful or kind of abrasive manner sometimes. But I'm very passionate about the things that I believe in. We're going to keep grinding. I'll keep you documented on my little personal journey on here on planet Earth. And we'll start diving into more explicit studies of the nature of reality in coming episodes. I love you all. I will speak to you soon. Mwah. Namaste.